significantly ahead in unit count right now, and switching to Marine and Medics, which I think is probably going to seal the deal on this game because ultimately Stork doesn't have sufficient ground forces to defend against a big group of Marine and Medics. He is throwing up some Sunkens, which may sort of I don't know delay the inevitable here, but his Air Force is going to be essentially worthless here against a mixed force of Marine and Medics, and then the Wraiths as well. Although the Wraiths, it looks like, are getting repaired down at Nalra's base. So right now it's going to be Marine and Medic micro versus kind of the stacked mutas of Stork, it looks like. Well, it looks like he's trying to stack them. So he'll be picking off a few Marines here and there probably, but he's going to be taking a lot more damage than he's going to be dealing. So he's going to have to figure out a way to be able to defend this front side of his natural expansion here. Otherwise, Nalra is going to easily break through once he brings up those raids as well. And the raids are just chilling down at his base, but he's continuing to produce Marines and Medics as well as raids. So as soon as he brings those in there, again, it's going to be big trouble. The advantage Stork has right now is he's got his natural expansion and he's got this gas-only expansion up in the northwest corner that Nalra I don't think has even seen yet. So he is outmining Nalra by a lot. If he can somehow, put together a little bit better blended force, I'm sure he could neutralize some of the threats that Nalra's throwing his way. So I'd really like to see probably some Hydralisks mixed in with his Air Force there. I think he'd probably have the minerals and the gas to support a Hydralisk Muta blend. And between those two, with the group of Overlords, I think he'd be able to tear up the Wraith and M&M force of Nalra here. Unfortunately, he's just he's just running in with his Muta, and it's not going to do much good versus that huge group of Wraiths you see there. As well as Marines and Medics. In the meantime, I missed Nalra throwing up his expansion at his natural, so he is going to be catching back up as far as resources to Stork here. Stork continuing to produce those Muta, and you can tell he's just really uncomfortable here. He hasn't even thrown up a Hydralisk Den, and I don't think he's researched Speedlings yet, so definitely need to see a better blend if he's going to stand a chance. But at this point, I think he's well behind, considering Terran is at 80 control and Zerg is at 58 out of 35 control. So Zerg continues to be in big trouble here, despite the fact that he's had the expansion for a significantly longer amount of time than Nalra has. Nalra is moving up his Marines, which aren't accompanied by any Medics at this point, it looks like. So those are going to be a little sketchy because they're not going to be real effective versus Muta if they're not getting healed by Medics. In the meantime, Stork is harassing down at the Terran base with his Muta, so it's going to be definitely an annoyance there for Nalra. But even if he leaves those completely unattended, I think his Marines and Medics are going to obliterate the Zerg base before these Muta are able to take out the Terran base. So if it's a race situation, I think the Terran still has the advantage here, and the Terran doesn't seem to be doing anything to neutralize these Mutas in his main. So kind of a funny combo to see. In the meantime, the Marine and Medic group is just totally ripping apart the Zerg base on the western edge, the Zerg natural here. Zerg continues to produce those Muta, but there's going to just be no match for all those Marines and Medics at his base right now. Would have loved to see him bring the group of Wraiths back in to defend his main, but at this point I don't think it matters. He did get that group of about 9 cloaked Wraiths up to take out that second expansion hatchery of Stork there. So he's going to be bringing those back into the fight at Stork's main, but Stork's secondary has already been annihilated as well, and the 10 or so Muta are just going to get torn apart by these Wraiths and Marines and Medics here. So I expect to see a GG here, or I guess a Korean GG. I don't know if that looks the same or not, as Nalra continues to tear through here. But wow, the Muta has really held up well. I'm surprised. I guess it looks like I didn't realize that Stork has a 2 attack upgrade on his Muta, so that's one of the reasons those were tearing through the Terran units so well, as the Terran has 0 upgrades on his Wraiths or Marines and Medics because he doesn't even have an engineering bay yet. So those mutas did prove to be actually far more effective than I've seen them. Again, didn't realize they had a 2 attack upgrade already, but he's still in huge trouble with no secondary bases here. And now Ra's throwing up a bunch of towers at his natural here, so he's going to be able to defend that. I think relatively easily against these Muta, although I have underestimated them once this game so far. But he only has a couple Muta left, and he's not going to be able to produce at the same rate. Stork did finally throw up a Hydralisk then, but at this point I think it's a little bit too late, and it looks like there was a GG there from Stork as he realized he wasn't going to be able to catch back up with the mining of Now Ra at that point. So a good game by both players for their off races. We didn't see as much creativity as we probably would have with their primary races, but kind of fun to see both of those guys playing races they weren't quite as comfortable with. Now Ra, the little Wraith rush there was able to annoy Stork enough and hold him down to a limited amount of units. So thanks for listening, and feel free to leave any comments or constructive criticism you have in the comments. Thanks.